Welcome to the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce podcast. I'm Tina Cannon. We're going to be talking local business news around the cities. Today's topics include the mayor's races heating up with fundraising numbers. And the old president of the United States is coming to Austin. What you need to know. And inflation hits a new low. It was time to go shopping. We'll be right back. Stay with us. It is my goal to get the buttons right before I welcome Colton and Amy. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
The applause. I love it.
Yeah.
It's only taken 2 seasons.
Hooray.
How are y'all? I feel like I haven't seen you much.
We've been busy.
Yeah.
It has been busy, but doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
Doing well.
I like that.
Just knocking stuff out.
Just everybody's chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Join us.
Yeah, members have been plentiful. Our luncheon was just ridiculously packed,
So many new faces.
which is good. Yeah, I like it.
I love a new face.
I love how many there are that keep turning up.
Yeah, I was actually a little glad that a few couldn't make it because we were so full at, where were we last time?
Verbena.
Verbena.
I was dreaming about that, the pork thingy that they have, that little dish.
That little tostada thing?
Yeah. Oh, so good.
It was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
I like all of it.
And granted, I was standing up. We were all standing up to eat because there wasn't a seat. So if you're listening and you haven't booked your spot for our next luncheon, you'll find out at the end of the show how to do that and when that is. Let's take a look at some local headlines in our area. The mayor's race is heating up with campaign fundraising numbers. Monday is the official deadline for city council candidates, including the mayor's race, to turn in their campaign finance report. You'll find all of that at the Austin Monitor. And I know they historically put up kind of the detailed information at the Austin Monitor. So check that out on Monday. But the watchers are really expecting Watson to raise a little bit, far more than his opponents, but a little bit less than he did last time. It's not surprising, though, that he announced on Tuesday that his re-election campaign has raised more than $710,000 from mid-April to June 30th. He also issued a press release noting that he had added over 1,000 new supporters, in addition to the 60 current and former local elected officials backing his re-election campaign. He does have a couple of other opponents, previous council member and Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Tovo, Doug Greco, and Carmen Yanis. I'm going to destroy her last name. Pulido?
I think it's Pulido. Yeah.
That are running this time. So the deadline to file, if you still want to run for mayor, you still can. The deadline's like mid-August, so...
Come on, Amy.
I mean...
Okay, I don't live here.
we usually get a bunch of colorful people that pop their name in to run for mayor every year, but I haven't really seen... I mean, maybe there are. They're just not bubbling.
I love a colorful candidate.
It was... who was our local... Oh, what was his name? He was a local homeless guy.
Leslie.
Yeah.
Would run, and he would get a couple thousand votes.
I love
every
it.
year. Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
I do miss Leslie.
I do. I miss a lot of things about old Austin some days.
Just Texas in general when like Kinky Friedman ran for
Yeah.
governor.
Yeah, he just passed away not too long ago, although I thought he was already.
Colorful character, that man.
His name was Kinky.
Oh, you don't know about
don't
the
know
Kinky
The
this
Friedman?
person.
Jewish cowboy is what his whole campaign was.
He'd go around with this big black cowboy hat tilted sideways with a cigar. Yeah, and say, Jewish cowboy, vote for me. I mean, he was like a legit political activist. And
Yeah.
ran for a couple of pretty big offices over the
But
years.
his shirts were always so loud. He was just character. It was fun to watch.
I mean, Kinky Friedman. What a name.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then council races are also happening this year on this cycle too. I suspect it's going to be a big turnout with the election in November. All the things that are happening in our world.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Please vote.
If you're not registered to vote,
You suck.
please register to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm registered. Mm-hmm. I did just submit an address change.
okay. That's good. Yeah, if you're not registered to vote, you have no excuse to complain. And well, registered and then go and vote.
Please just vote.
Austin has early voting for like 2 weeks. You can vote anywhere. It's not specific. It's so freaking easy to vote.
There's not much that grinds my gears more. Hearing people complain about everything on the planet, and then I'm like, "Hey, did you go vote?" They're like, "Nah." What? You know what? I need you to kick rocks.
Right.
Get out of my face and kick rocks, and don't ever complain to me about anything again.
I'll probably get it wrong, and maybe one of the listeners will correct me on an email, but I think it's Australia that has a requirement that you have to vote. And if you choose not to vote, you can pay a fine. You have to, it's like, because they have 98% voter participation. So, like, at least
I don't know if it might be since I was there, because it was Howard.
It
was PM Howard when I was there.
So it's a woman prime minister. I remember reading in the article.
New Zealand had one, but she actually said she didn't want to continue her
I think you should be required to vote.
Term.
If you're required to have health care coverage, you should be required to vote. Or you pay a fine. You pay for the privilege to not vote.
I don't know.
Because, I want to know how people feel.
I get it, but that you are opening up a whole can of worms to terribly uninformed voters. It's one thing to be...
That is...
It's one thing to be like, oh, well, my family's voting for this guy. I guess I'll vote for him too. But it's a whole other thing to be like, I'm not going to get into it because it's political. But
with a tin hat.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. It was Bill Clinton, Perot, and Bush when I was in, I think, the 3rd grade. And we were talking about the election coming up, and they wanted to know who we would vote for and why. And why did we think somebody was going to win? And there was a gal in my class that said, I think Bill Clinton's going to win because he's the most handsome.
That's literally a thing. Political scientists will tell you if you have a good name, like your name is a solid, strong sounding name, you'll get a point. You'll get a percentage point. If you're a type of guy that somebody or candidate that somebody wants to have a beer with you,
right,
you'll do well. It's about likability.
I like the likability piece. Mm-hmm. If you look in the mirror and you feel like your political cartoon won't reflect well for you, maybe just bow out gracefully. Poor Ross Perot.
I bless it. At least a little Tweety bird.
He had Sputnik on either side of his head.
Yeah.
Sputnik 1 and Sputnik 2. Those ears, man, they almost gave his head a hug.
I can't remember. He had a little slogan. I can't remember what his little slogan was. But he had this little squeaky little voice, too, which didn't help him.
He did.
It's just everything wrong about this poor guy. But he was a billionaire and he financed his own campaign to run. And I think, he raised some issues. I like that people run for office. I've done it twice.
A real independent.
It's, it's engaging. You get to learn about the issues. You get to meet a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It takes courage to run because
you're everywhere.
You're everywhere. And everywhere you go, somebody doesn't like you.
That's right.
And they're vocal about it.
And they'll find a reason not to like you.
They are very vocal about it. Yes. So go out and vote when it comes time. But if you are passionate about a council candidate, a statewide candidate, definitely donate. Money speaks. Money help runs campaigns. They need to pay their staff to door knock. And if you feel really strongly about your candidate, you should it's time, treasure, or talent. You should try and donate one of those 3. Mm-hmm. But civics is not a spectator sport. Mm-hmm. You should be playing along. Speaking of politics, POTUS himself, President Biden, is planning a visit to Austin amongst a bit of campaign scrutiny that we've all been following. So, by the time we hear this, who knows? He may have pulled out of the race or he may have doubled down. We don't know what's going to happen in the next week or so, especially leading into the convention. But Biden's expected to deliver a keynote Monday at the LBJ Presidential Library to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Civil Rights Act signed into law by President Johnson in July 1964. The irony, of course, with Johnson is that he famously didn't go for re-election. He was a one-term president. But of course, we all know Biden's been facing escalating questions from fellow Democrats, and of course on the other side too, on whether or not he has the stamina or the acuity to continue in office after that really kind of bland debate performance that he had. I don't know. He would be the nation's oldest president ever. Mm-hmm. And we have a choice of the really old guy or the really, really old guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that they're bringing this to Austin.
And the LBJ library is amazing.
It's so cool. Like, and how old is it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I had fun. I liked it.
Like I feel like it's incredibly modern given its age.
I don't know how long ago it was.
Very contemporary style. Like, right?
It's just a
Didn't you kinda feel
well-done
that?
exhibit. Like when you walk through that
Yeah.
whole civil rights exhibit, it's very moving.
Yes.
And the Oval
In the
Office.
Oval Office.
Oh, yeah.
Very fun.
I love all the old dresses in there too. I know I'm gay. I know.
But they were 60s. I love that
Yeah.
whole mid-century mod look that Lady Bird had.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah. But yeah.
What should set the town on fire
At least
on Monday?
this is going to be probably on some kind of prompter, right? Or written somewhere for.
I don't know. I just don't even know. I change my mind every day about how I feel about.
I just think, aren't we ready for like an amendment on how old you right?
Because there's an age requirement of how old you have to be
yes,
to run.
yes.
I think there should be for SCOTUS as well.
I think
Agreed.
Yeah.
I can't have a bunch of senile people sitting on the bench judging.
I think
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, I think we should be able to vote for Supreme Court justice.
No, that I disagree with.
yeah, no, I don't know about all that.
I don't know. Something's got to be different.
But I would.
For life?
It's the lifetime appointment. Yeah, but if they had an age limit, then yeah.
Well, then you look at like RBG, and we were all kind of like, we don't want her to leave, but also like if you don't leave now,
Yeah, timing was really important on that, and she
Yeah,
missed the boat.
and-
Now that's her legacy.
well, I don't know that that's
It's
her
part of her
legacy,
story.
but we were real pissed at her. Some of us were.
Yeah.
But I would not want this to be a knock at our elderly community.
Sure.
But also maybe just take some time to like
Enjoy
hang out
life.
with your kids, your grandkids, or with your spouse, or your farm animals, or with like whatever. Like
Right.
Or come to our happy hour.
Like
Yeah,
there's 240
like,
other million people in the country that
maybe
could possibly run.
you shouldn't be taking such a high stress job of running a country or anything involving the broader American community. I would say if I was going to put a number on it, I'd say you cannot be 75 years old by the time you take office.
Yeah.
Like,
Because what's retirement age? 65 is national
I remember
retirement
when
age.
it was 55 when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's 62
Yeah.
for early retirement, 65 for retirement. So it should be like 65. Like you're done.
I think it should be retirement age.
You're done.
Because
Retire.
it's like you're in this massive group of people. You're in what is it? What is it? It's like 20 to 60, I guess. The year that's the majority of folks on the planet. I'm
Yeah.
kind of making this up, but I'm
Sure.
assuming that's what it is.
I mean, 27% of all statistics are made up on the spot.
I love it. But if those are also the majority of people who are going to be voting, like that's who you should be representing. Not listen. I don't know anybody that's like mid 80s that's going to be like, well, here I go.
Let me go fly around the
Let me
globe.
just come out of retirement and
I mean, I'm 50 years old, and I don't want to do shit late at night. I don't want to do shit on the
Right.
weekends.
yeah, thank you.
Like, why would I want to do that when I'm 75 years old? I wouldn't. I don't want to do it now. I mean, hats off to people who serve, like we just talked about. But like at some point,
Yeah.
pass the torch, pass it along, let the next generation take over.
Yes.
But-
And you can always help like consult. And I don't know how much, this is based off of TV, but Designated Survivor, if you ever watched it,
No.
like a former president would come in to the new president and they would just shoot the shit. They would like talk about things that are going on in the government and he would kind of get like, well, when I was in office, this is what happened. Here's an example. Like nobody's taking that away from you.
Right, you can still be an
Mr.
advisor.
President. Like, yeah,
Right.
like nobody's taking that away from you, but maybe bow out.
Yeah.
Like,
I read a stat the other day that said that Bill Clinton was in office, left office 31 years ago, and he's still younger than both guys running right now. Right?
That is insane. And isn't it gnarly, like watching every single president go so gray? Oh. God, they go so gray so fast.
'Cause, I mean, literally the weight of the world is on there. If they give a shit, I will say that.
Unless they have some incredible hair color treatment happening for their campaign trail that we don't know about, which could be a thing. But it just seems very accelerated if you ask me.
Yeah, like I said, for those who give a shit, they age in office. Those who don't give a shit, they look just fine.
I'm trying to think of one that looks just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it'll be nice to have the president visiting our community.
Yeah.
Humble brag, I'm going to go. I'm excited to go. I've never met him before. I just kind of want to see what that experience looks like and then
Sure.
move on. I've met Bill Clinton before. Mm-hmm. The man is very good at his job as far as like, you are the only human being he's talking to. And I was just in a receiving line of people.
Cool.
Yeah, but he takes his time to like stop, dead eye look you, big giant handshake. His hand is like, could palm my head.
Yeah. Saxophone.
Saxophone.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, so he's a really nice guy. So I'll be interested to see just what good old Joe looks like and reacts in person. I feel like he's going to be good at it. It's kind of a shtick, right?
I'm sure. He
But
just seems
it's
like a
history.
sweet old man.
Yeah, it's history. I'm excited to go.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So on some good economic news, inflation hits a 12-month low at 3% as prices unexpectedly dropped in June. The inflation moderated to its lightest level in years, the federal government reported on Thursday morning, coming in far better than economists' estimates as Americans and policymakers alike look to put this inflationary cycle in the rearview mirror. Inflation was 3% in June, according to year-over-year changes by the BLS. The Consumer Price Index is the best inflationary mark since June of 2023. So the upside to this is that people are going to start spending money.
Yay!
Right? Yes. The core inflation numbers are down. The Consumer Price Index is down. It just really means that it's opening up a path for the Federal Reserve to hopefully cut rates at the end of summer. They called for a meeting in August. So hopefully that will be a nice rate cut. We're already starting to see the markets reflect a little bit of that change this week. Big ticket items hopefully will be back on the sales for holidays, and we'll get consumer spending going again, and people can start buying houses again
Yeah.
at not insane prices. I mean, it's not going to be
love
like a
that.
huge drop,
Yeah.
but it's going to drop a half a point to a point probably.
Well, it helps with
It does.
interest rates.
It does. You know, if you're a big global company and you're looking at, billions of dollars in employee cost or in capital expenditures, and now all of a sudden you get a point off, that's an enormous number. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm hopeful. It took longer than expected for the Fed to finally make a move. So hopefully this is the last push they needed. And when they meet at the end of summer, there should be a bit of a rate cut.
Yay!
Yeah. I hope. Colton, what you got in local chamber news?
It is very important to note that our August events look a little bit different than the other months.
Why is that?
Pay attention.
Well, there will be no luncheon in August.
Did you get that, people? No luncheon in August.
But don't be sad.
Because you can come hang out with us at the DECA Small Business Opportunity Summit
Yeah.
on August 9th at the Permitting and Development Center at ACC Highland.
Okay. So we're placing a luncheon with a very large event in conjunction with our other minority chambers.
Yes.
Love that.
Very large event.
Yeah, with lots of information. So take the rest of the day off afterwards.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in place of our usual happy hour, we will be at KMFA Classical Radio Station
Love that.
for our 4th annual Austin Arts Mixer.
Yeah.
And we love working with KMFA. I know that was like,
Shut up, audience.
Shut up over there, you.
she just slapped the crowd. But we love working with KMFA. It's a beautiful building.
It's gorgeous.
There will be, I know for sure, more than 24 local arts organizations there.
It's always a great event.
People are still signing up.
Our friends at KMFA do a fantastic job. Hats off to Todd Hogan. As always.
And RSVP for that will be open very soon.
Okay.
It will be hitting your inboxes.
It's a full event every year, so I'm excited for that again this year.
But before we get to August, come hang out with us on July 18th. July. It's not June. July
Get my
18th.
DeLorean and we'll come see you.
My notes. I can't read my own handwriting today. July 18th, we will be at Limestone Rooftop at the Cambria downtown from 5:30 to 7 for our happy hour.
Cute.
Yeah.
Great views from there.
Yeah, it's really a gorgeous hotel.
Incredible views. You can see both bridges. I don't know. It's cool.
Like
looking at the
Todd
lake.
and Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
them.
dating
Yeah.
myself.
No. Valet is free
Free.
for our happy hour. So, but please tip your valet driver.
Yes, they
when
like
they bring your
cash.
car around. I know a lot of people don't carry cash anymore, but you should. Cash is king. Love cash.
I asked my valet folks now on the rare occasion I actually do drive and park valet. Most of them have a Venmo.
Yeah.
So don't ever use like, oh, I don't have any cash on me. Boo, you got Venmo.
Yeah.
They do too because they're half your age.
Well, there are some homeless people in our town too that seem to have
What?
PayPal, Venmo. Remember that woman?
Yeah, there
Who
was a
like,
lady.
She was like, "Hey, can I get a few bucks?" And I was like, I don't. I'm so sorry, I don't have. She was like, "I got Venmo, I got PayPal."
What?
Cash App.
I'll take Bitcoin.
Cash App. Yeah, she was like Cash App. I was like, oh man, I don't even know how to respond to this. Like, I was just driving.
She's like, I'm walking away.
Hats off to the local entrepreneurial homeless population. That's
Well, isn't there something there where you can't get your medical benefits if you don't have a phone number? So
I see a lot of them.
I
with
think so.
Phones.
And then address is also a big.
right,
But
so
you can use the shelter for an address.
so there are many of the homeless population with cell phones. Like we've seen the guy in front of Starbucks have very long conversations with somebody, a loved one.
It's probably a
Like,
stockbroker. I mean, what? You can Venmo your local
Oh, my.
homeless person. That's fantastic stuff. But
This is great. What a time to be alive.
we sit and visit a bit with them about.
I'm in the wrong line of work here. Okay.
There was a reporter years ago in Austin. Ben Weir, I think was his name. Laura Fowler would know his name. But he did an experiment where he stood on a corner in Austin with a sign, and he kind of dirtied himself up and made him look like he was, hanging out. And he collected on the corner more than he made in his
Yeah.
job in the day.
Wasn't it something like in the 300s?
It was a
like
ridiculous
$300-$400. That is out of control.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I don't want to be homeless, and it's a hard road to go, and I get that. But, yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but
But at least the one chick's got the Venmo account, so she must be doing like a couple hundred a day. Maybe she's got like an OnlyFans account, too.
I don't even want to be outside.
Is there like people who on OnlyFans who only want to watch homeless people?
I'm sure there's something for everybody out there.
Right?
oh my God, this just took a turn.
Jar
Yeah.
full of toenails.
Oh, jeez. Lord have mercy.
Someone to buy it.
Somebody would.
That is
it's amazing what people
feral.
buy. I remember when Amazon first came on, I was like, they're like, you can buy anything on Amazon. This is after they went from being a bookstore to you could buy anything. And I looked
Right.
up like dirty socks. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You can buy anything you want online. It's obscene. It's a weird world we live in.
I hate the internet. I
I mean, sometimes though, like it saves me. Some
I
people
don't
are
know.
creative.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
They're creative on the little tickety talk. They're creative on some of the comebacks that they have, like on their memes and.
I will say I am here for a mashup of what happens on the Hill.
What is that?
I love like a musical matchup of like when Marjorie Taylor Greene and
Oh, that hill. I thought you meant Bobby.
no, and who were the other two? It was
Jasmine Crockett,
and
yeah.
AOC.
yes, AOC and Crockett and Marjorie Taylor Greene were,
Yeah.
and then they turned it into like this EDM mashup
See,
song.
that's when
and
the internet's good.
I'm here for it.
People are super creative, and I like to think that I'm kind of funny, and then I go read something on the internet. I'm like, freaking hysterical. Why didn't I think of that? It's got to be hard for, like, I was thinking about like the late night hosts, because by the time they go on, it's like a day after the thing has happened, and all the jokes have been made, but yet they still manage to come up with some good stuff.
Well, they are comedians typically.
It's like they get
Well,
paid for it or something.
like they have writers. I don't think they're actually
There is
funny.
that.
Yeah, the SNL writer guys. That's funny when they do like their own little skit, and they have like in the writers' room. That's actually one of my favorite ones. That and of course, the Weekend Update, because I'm all about the news. But as always, we thank you for joining us. If you want to become a member of the Chamber, join us for some of our events. You can find out all those details at austinlgbtchamber.com. If you want to be a guest on this weird show or a podcast sponsor, you can email us at info@austinlgbtchamber.com. Be sure to check out all of our past episodes of the show. Follow us and check out new episodes every Friday at noon, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see y'all next time.